Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reading Method Block Party. I hope you're all having fun making your squares. I know I've enjoyed seeing them posted in the Reading Method group. When you post your pictures, don't forget to hashtag rmblockparty so that we can all keep track of them. If we just search the hashtag, they'll all be together in one group. So it's been a lot of fun seeing them, and I look forward to seeing many more. My name is Crystal, and I am the owner of Crystal Creations. I will post the link below if you want to follow me in my Facebook group. I knit, I crochet, I spin, and I've just started getting into dyeing, so I like all things fiber arts. Today, I am going to show you how to do a corner-to-corner crocheted square. All of the squares I will be showing you are going to be in the medium of crochet. So stay tuned and we will begin shortly. All right, we're going to get started on the corner-to-corner square. I'm using a size 5 crochet hook for you today, using a single wool yarn. We're going to start off our square by making a slip knot, and you do that by holding your yarn like this, have a tail on your right hand side, and then the leader that attaches to the ball on the other side. I hold on to the ends of the tails, give it one twist, and then you want to reach through the hole and pick up the leader one that's attached to the ball. Pull it through, and now you have your slip knot. And it's called a slip knot because it slides up and down like this. Okay, so you're going to insert your hook into the slip knot, tighten it down a little bit. You don't want it too tight, just enough to secure. You can easily move it up and down the hook. Now, for a corner to corner, we are going to make a square. So envision this as a square, and we're going to be working it from this corner up to this corner. So we're going to be working on a diagonal across. So we're going to start, it's like a little squares inside of a big square is really what it's going to end up looking like, okay? So we're going to start by chaining 6. And a chain is just your foundation row usually. And we do a lot of chaining in this one. Okay, so that's 6. So now we're going to start, we're going to count 4 back from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to crochet into this 4th stitch. We're actually going to use double crochets. So to do a double crochet, yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2, and that's a double crochet. And we're going to do 2 more. So yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. Okay, so there's our first little mini square that's going to take part of our big square. Okay, so now we have to make our next square. So we're going to start with the foundation and chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, so you have 6. Now you want to count back 4 from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this 4th one, we're going to double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet 2 more times. Okay, so there is our second square. And now you're like, okay, well, this is not looking like a square at all. And you're right, it's not. We have to attach this square to this square. To do that, you notice at the end of each square, you kind of have a created loop where your first chain began, your chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet. Okay, it created a loop in there, and now we're going to work inside these loops to hook them together. Okay, so you have your first square, your second square. Now what we're going to do to attach this, you just flip this square up, and we're going to do a slip stitch into this hole here at the end to attach them together like that. See, now we're going to make another mini square. Now this time, instead of doing a chain 6 to start the square, we're already working into this hole here. So we have a place where the square is going to go. It's going to go right above this one. So we just build the square right on top of this one. Okay, so we just chain 3. and that counts as our first double crochet. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. Like that. Okay. So now we have a little more. You can tell that it's going to start being a square. It kind of looks like an L. So this is the one side of the square. This is one side of the square. And see how we're working on a diagonal now? So the first row, we just did 1 square. Our second row, we did 2. Our next row, we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we're building the square diagonally. Okay, so now we don't have a loop here to build the square on top of this one. So that means we have to do that foundation chain 6 to make a square on top of this one. Okay. So chain 6, 4, 5, 6, and count back 4 from the hook. And that's where you're going to start your double crochet. Okay, so now we have to attach this one to the group over here. So where are we going to put it? We want, remember those little loops there we made? That's where we attach them into. So you have to turn the piece this way, and then you can slip stitch it in. Okay, see how it's attached now? And we're going to do the next square, and we have a place to work it in that hole there, so we don't have to do the chain 6 because we have a place to work it into. So now we're going to chain 3 and then 3 double crochets into this hole here. Okay, so there was the foundation chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Now we have to attach this square to this one with a slip stitch, and you see how we have that loop there at the top of the square, and we'll slip stitch it. And again, this one already has the loop, so we're going to work right into it. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. So now that's our third row, and we made 3 boxes. See how the squares kind of coming together there? Sometimes you have to like mess around with the boxes a little bit to make them look a little bit more like boxes. But okay, so now we're going to do the next box that goes on here, but you see there's no place to work it. So we're going to do a chain 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come back 4 from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, and work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Okay, so now we have to attach the hook to this box. So we have to flip the work so it lines up, and we do a slip stitch. And so we have a place to work this square because there's a hole there. So we just do chain 3 and 3 double crochets into that opening there. And again, we got to attach it to this side. So we slip stitch it to attach it and work our next square. 3 chains and 3 double crochets. And then we have to attach it. So we slip stitch and 3 chains and 3 double crochets. Okay, so you notice as we've been working this square, we've been working from this bottom right hand side up to the left. That's how this square is working. Now you can make this any size square you want, really, so that's why it's kind of cool. You can just see, we'll get our little measuring thing. This is already 4 inches, so each box is about 1 inch, and that of course depends on what size hook you use and what weight of yarn that you're going to use. But for this particular one, it ends up being 1 inch per square. So if I want it 4 inches, I make it 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, by 4 squares high, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have the square almost done. We just have to finish off the square. So I'll just do 4 by 4 for now. So Now we have, this is our tallest the box is going to be, our square is going to be, and this is the longest our box is going to be. So we have to fill in this part. So how do we do that, right? We don't want to do a chain 6 because that's just going to make our square one box taller. Instead, we want to bring it over to here so we can put the box here. Okay, so we have to turn the work and we got to get over to here somehow. So to get over there, what we're going to do is just do a slip stitch over each one. So you see how I'm going through the stitch underneath it, pulling through and pulling through. Slip stitch on this underneath it, pull through, and pull through. So it's not adding any more height. It's just getting us moved over to where we need to be. Now we're going to slip stitch into this hole, pull through, pull through. Okay, remember this hole? This is where we work. So now we can turn our work again. And again, we're going to be working from the bottom right up to the top left. Okay, so now we can work this square. And we have a space to do it, so we don't have to do that foundation chain 6. So we can just do a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. And 3 double crochets. Okay, so then we have to attach it to the rest of the blocks up here with the slip stitch. And same thing, chain 3 and 3 double crochets. Attach the box to this other one with the slip stitch, chain 3 and 3 double crochets again. Okay, and we have to attach to this one with a slip stitch. Okay, and now remember, this is all the taller our box is going to be. So we're not going to work into this one. This one's going to stay there. Now we have to turn the work again. And remember, we did those slip stitches to get us over to where we want to start again. So then we want to slip stitch across so that we can get back over to where we need to be. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we just slip stitched across the top of that square to get back over to here. And we'll turn our work and see there. Again, we're working from the bottom left, or the bottom right to the top left. And there's already a space here, so we don't have to do that foundation 6. We just do the chain 3 and double crochet 3 into that space that was already open for us. Okay, then we have to attach the squares with the slip stitch, chain 3, double crochet 3, attach with the slip stitch, and we're at the top of our square again. So now we only have one little square left to do in this corner to finish it off. So to get over to that corner, remember, we don't want to add any more on the top here. We have to turn the work and slip stitch over to where we need to be. There we go. And then we can give it a little turn, and you can see we have that hole there to work into. So we're going to just do the chain 3 and double crochet 3. Attach it with a slip stitch, and there you go. We have completed our square. How cute is that? So to finish it, you just, like any other project, when you finish crochet, there we go. Just slip your tail into your last loop you made there and pull it over to the side and tighten it down. There you go. Now you can weave in the ends, or if you're going to be attaching these to other squares, you can weave in the ends as you're attaching them together. But there is your corner to corner crocheted square. If you guys have any questions at all about the square, just comment below the video and I will be happy to help you out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hashtag rmblockparty.